Hello, hello. It is Direct Mail Monday, September 24th, 2018. Steve Sipress here. And I dove into my mail that arrived in my mailbox this week, and I came up with this that I figured this looks great to share with you folks that are interested in learning how to do more effective advertising and marketing. And Jeremy Danley is here. Jim is here. Great seeing you guys. So I got this piece from a company that I actually used to represent as an independent advisor, and I was their #1 independent advisor for years. It's the old, used to be called the GKIC, the Glazer Kennedy Insider Circle, now called the No BS something. And so there's their new name, the No BS. And new owner, great guy, Adam Whitty, and hopefully he does really well with resurrecting that thing that the GKIC thing. That when the founder, Bill Glazer, sold it, it was sold over and over to a whole clown college of maroons that screwed the whole thing up, and hopefully Adam can resurrect it. But this is interesting. Now, there's a whole bunch of lessons learned here. I'll go over them fairly quickly. Go to helpfromsteve.com if you want more, and I'll help you do this kind of stuff and a lot more. And who's here? Chad Powers is here, and Jeannie Levinson is here. Talk about an expert in direct marketing. Jeannie, the wife of one of the greatest marketers, of course, of all time, J. Conrad Levinson, for you guerrilla marketing fans. And so here's the piece that arrived. And first of all, a couple of great things about it. Arrived in a plain plastic wrapper. So I can see front and back kind of all about it. And they want to have copy, the words on here that will grab me and have me just need to rip this thing open and tear right into it. And from the feel of it, another great thing, it's got a heavy feel to it. We call that, well, I call it the thud factor, goes by a lot of names. But man, what's this all about? And if they can get me to get into it right now, I might spend 1 or 2 hours with this thing. And since I'm a student of marketing, of course, I'm going to tear into it, look at it. But first, I thought I'd share. This is the title of today's video right here. They've got the if you're established in or new to the field of info marketing, then you start here on page 1. But if you are not an info marketer, then you should master the use of info first marketing for any business, profession, product, or service, and you should start on page 17. So I'm guessing it's a 32-page sales letter, and the first half, the first 16 pages, are designed for someone like me who's an experienced person at selling information. As a consultant, naturally, my information is what helps a lot of people make a ton of money, and it's how I make my living. And same thing with people that sell courses, books, tapes, seminars, which I sell all those above. And then there's people that are where I once was, people that have a business, say a doctor, lawyer, attorney, plumber, heating and air guy, whatever it is, and you are getting customers, clients, patients, members, whatever, but you're not using information first marketing. So you don't have a book, you don't have a newsletter, you don't have a daily video like this. You're not disseminating information to warm people up, get them to know you, get them to like you, get them to trust you, get them to see, wow, that guy's full of so much good information. I can only imagine how much more information there must be if I become a client, or how well he knows his stuff. How helpful is he going to be to me? So everyone should use the info first marketing. So Adam, with Adam at the helm, it's the first time I've seen this company, and I've paid attention to everything they've done since their founding about 15 years ago. First time I've seen them do this, if you're new or if you're experienced thing, to break up the 32-page sales letter into 2 separate. And if I really went over it and I wanted to have it open before I went on the video here, it is very likely that there are large swaths and sections of the 2 16-page segments that are the same. And then there's some different language, different examples that can go to each one. But if you're thinking, hey, Steve, how am I supposed to write 2 different 16-page sales letters to my thing? A lot of it's going to overlap. That's just my guess, and I guess we'll find out. And then I also noticed that there's 2 separate pieces here. So I'm like, wow, what are the 2 different things about? Again, I am going to open it. But then I see on the back, this is another piece kind of included in the same mailer, and it's the people like me that says right away below the headline, the first line says, maybe it's the second line. Where is it? Oh, here it is. It's second paragraph. Some time ago, you made the decision to stop being a member of the Information Marketing Association, which I was a member of for about 10 years until the previously mentioned debacle that GIC went through, and I canceled my membership. But I love getting the stuff from Dan Kennedy, all about for consultants, authors, experts, information marketers. And so here it says, because you've been out of the IMA, the Information Marketing Association, for a while, I'm enclosing the best gift I could think of in return for just a couple more minutes of your time, blah, blah, blah. And it's the August very special edition, special report of the No BS Information Marketing letter to help somebody get more referrals and retention. So in what we call, you'd call it a lot of things, but kind of interior marketing, not looking for new people, how to get more referrals, more retention, how to get more out of the clients and customers, members, patients that you already have or have had in the past. And so it says here, maybe you were exiting the information business, or maybe you felt you had learned everything there was to learn. That's funny. So they're not addressing the elephant in the room, which to me is why 99% of the people I know quit the thing. And it's not because we exited the information business, and it's not because we felt we knew everything. It's because the company sucked. But I guess they're deftly skirting that point, which I, as an actual No BS person, despite the name of the company, I'm going to be No BS and just say the elephant in the room. Company screwed a lot of people, really sucked, really went downhill, and just about everyone I know quit the thing. And so that's the third reason not mentioned here. But for whatever reason, it goes on, says you had a reason, and that's in the past. Now, that's a very smart technique. I'm not here to critique the copywriting, but that's very smart. They're setting the criteria here for the relationship, for the discussion. They are saying that my reason is in the past, even though for many, many people that I know, the reason is not in the past. They still feel burnt. They still feel ripped off. They still feel bitter, angry, and it's going to take more of a not being honest and bringing up the real reason, not even suggesting it, not doing something. Well, they're doing something, I guess, to smooth it over here. They're giving a gift, which is the next sentence. But if you are still an information marketer today and you've hit any kind of a wall in your growth and profits, please keep reading. Again, in my experience, not the reason anybody quit the thing. But because you've been out for a while, I'm enclosing a gift. So because I've been out for a while, they're claiming, they're trying to get people to believe, the reader to believe, that the reason for leaving the horribly mistreating them company is in the past. And here's a gift. And just because of this one gift of this report, all is forgiven. Everything is great as if it never happened. I'm going to come running back, rejoin, come to your event. All is good. That, my friends, is a big big pill to swallow. Lot to chew off. Lot of big meal there to try and eat. They got a big uphill battle to convince people to come back. However, for the cost of this mailing, a few bucks, and they mail it out. Man, if they get, of course, a 1% response, they get 1%, 1 out of 100 people that gets this to rejoin, worth a lot of money. I think I was paying about $99 a month or so for my membership in the IMA, and then attending an event like the Information Marketing Association annual event, the Info Marketing Summit. There it is, the Marketing Summit. That thing was another $1,500 a year just to join, just to attend it, plus the airfare and the hotel, which doesn't go to them. But you know, they got about $3,000 out of me a year being a member, and plus assorted other products and courses and things I would buy from them. So well worth $5-10 of a mailing to 100 people. That's $1,000. You get one person back, repays it 3 times over just in the first year. And like I said, I stayed a member for over 10 years and spent a heck of a lot more money than just a few grand a year. So there it is, folks. I'm not going to go into all the detail, but it is, we call this a lift letter. So there's a little letter on top of the item. This is a 3-page letter telling me about the gift and probably inviting me to come back and become a new member and maybe even making an offer. Here is some 4-page letter. Please read it ASAP from Dan Kennedy. So we got a 4-page letter here. And this one is bound. Unlike this 4-page letter or 3-page letter, which is a front and back and a front with no back. So you got a 3-page letter, not stapled, not bound, and then they got a 4-page, which is basically 2, which is really 8 pages. Unless these are 2 different things. Maybe they're 2 different things. Again, I don't have time to get into it right now. I'm not going to keep you to do that. Then there's another piece here, another lift piece here, explaining what's going on. Dan Kennedy, quote, somebody writing for Dan Kennedy likely, or Dan himself, explaining there were 2 different letters inside, both from me. It may be that only one of the 2 is important to you. Find the one that's for you. Read it as soon as you can. One has blue ink. The other has red ink on the top of the page to tell you who it's for. No wonder. So they are 2 4-page sales letters. So this one is in red. No good at this reverse camera thing. This one's in red, says for any business, about it. So that's the bottom arrow, right? This is about what this whole thing is about for any business. And then a blue one is going to be the top one for us seasoned coaches, consultants, experts, authors, people that sell and use information marketing. So we're going to read this about information marketing. And it says, if you are not an info marketer, please switch to my other letter. So there you go. 2 letters, and if I examine them in detail, I will guess that I will see, as I suggested, there will be some overlap here. And then has the start on page 1, start on page 17. So 2 more. There it is. Here's the start on page 17 thing, and here's the start on page 1 thing. So very cool. They're normally, as a general rule, and you know what I teach, the WOW strategy, the who, means you craft your message to one specific who, one specific target person, group, audience that you want to do business with you. And you do one at a time. Here they're doing both. One advantage of that, I believe, is that I, being an established information marketer, I'm going to read both because I'm a student of marketing and I'm a student of copywriting and persuasion and influence and sales. And I'm going to read what Dan Kennedy is writing to the newbies. And I'm going to read what he's writing to people like me that are already experts or experienced, even if they're not experts. And that's likely to help convince me even more, since I'm now going to read it twice, to do what they want me to do. Attend their event, rejoin their membership, whatever it is. Like I said, especially in my case and many people I know, that's a huge hill to climb, but let's see if they can do it. And then here's my free gift, the special report, all about retention and renewals and how to get more out of the current group of members that I had. And this thing, Dan usually writes about 20 pages on this thing. This is from my memory. I guess it doesn't have page numbers. Oh, in the back is all the examples, the exhibits, he calls them, that he'll talk about. Doesn't have numbered pages. So it's got a bunch of pages. Pure copy, by the way. No fluff in the information marketing letter. I don't know what I know over the years. That's part of the GKIC screw up. They started to make their newsletter in color and all fancy graphics and crap that experts and people that are results oriented couldn't give a crap about. That's for, Time Magazine trying to sell magazine issues. We just want information. So you'll see here, if your audience just wants information, give them just information. Boom. Single spaced, almost no margins. Look at that. It's almost using every inch right up to the top, right down to the bottom, right into the crease with all information. Paragraph after paragraph, and then the exhibits in the back that he's going to explain that are going to be examples of what he's teaching. We love that stuff. Now, the sales letter is going to be different. That's not a paid subscription to someone like me who wants just pure information, don't give me the fluff. This, as a sales letter, should have some fluff to keep the reader interested. It's going to be tough for a reader, especially the newbie here, to read 16 solid pages if they look like that. Black and white, no graphics, no colors, nothing to pull the eye in different ways, no captions, no sidebars, that's going to be tough. So they're even starting out, as you can see, there it is, boom. Color photos of, I guess, the guest speakers in this futuristic looking car, which does look kind of interesting. And then, yep, sure enough, all kinds of photos and highlighting, different colors. There's a sidebar, all kinds of stuff going on in here to keep my attention as I go through the thing. So I predict that this piece, Dan, is a master of these event invitation sales letters, and I hosting hundreds of events myself. This is where I got a lot of my inspiration and a lot of my training is right from Dan. So you better believe I'm going through this, checking it out. I'm going to learn from it. I'm also going to share it with my clients because I'm an expert and a specialist in seminars and events and getting patients, customers, members, clients from them. Have a bunch of clients that engage me to help them specifically with that. So I am going to keep up on what's going on with the latest. We call this the putting the bum seats part of the seminar business. There's two parts, right? You got to have the on stage doing the actual seminar, providing the actual information, but you got to get the butts in the seats, the behind the stage stuff, the invites, the follow-up, setting up of the room, the whole thing, getting all the guest speakers lined up, getting the AV put together. There's all kinds of stuff goes into it. A lot of stuff. It's what I help my clients do if they want. And so I will keep up on it with this week's piece in the Direct Mail Monday video of the day. And so Ace is here. And Ace says, which I could share the piece I just got. I predict that if you're on Facebook, you can share the piece you got doing the exact same thing I just did. You click a button, it says do a video, and you share the piece you just got. I must not be understanding that comment. Ace has another comment. Interesting here. Bankruptcy and divorce. Two different lawyers split the cost for money mailer coupon mailing. That's something I talk about all the time on here when I share the Valpak and the money mailer, how to get your mailing free. You sell the back of your mailer to one or two different companies. So you split the cost and you can get yours at a discount or getting it free depending how you do it. So here's two different lawyers sharing the coupon, bankruptcy, divorce. So there's another way of going to two different audiences with one piece. I love it. Ed Kubelinskis is here. Maxine English is here. Suzanne Schaefer is here. Good seeing you, Suzanne. Phil Brakefield. How about that? Lost customer piece is a brilliant use of list segmentation. Agreed. And Holly Carter is here. Good seeing everybody. If there's not any other questions, comments, concerns, we'll call it a day. And I'll be back with you again tomorrow on Topical Tuesday, where I know there's a lot going on in the news, but it's so infuriating and nauseating that I've stayed away. Although I did hear two things in the news yesterday. Number one, I heard that my formerly beloved Jets obviously the NFL makes itself unwatchable because the owners have no respect for themselves. And the Jets lost to a team that hadn't won a game in like years. So couldn't happen to a nicer bunch of idiot people than the NFL team owners. And the second thing I heard is Tiger Woods won a golf tournament. Just heard that this morning, that I guess yesterday he was winning a tournament. And I was on the course on Saturday playing around with my beautiful wife, Michelle, and she said something about, she hit a putt, and she was like, or she missed a putt, I think. She said something like, like Tiger Woods. And I was like, what are you talking about? Tiger Woods is like one of the top golfers in the world. Like, suddenly people think he misses putts. And then who knew that as we were speaking, he was leading a golf tournament and won the tournament. That was good to see. So I will brush up on some other news because I know that this whole Supreme Court thing, the whole delaying tactic is driving everyone crazy. And I'll be talking about something that's going on in the news. And I'll share that tomorrow, as I always do, on Topical Tuesday. So thanks, everyone, being here today. And I'll catch you back here again tomorrow. Got to hit this thing twice. Adios. Bye-bye.